All right, welcome back to Boring Reviews. Fiddler here.
He likes to make up things, and I'm the gullible person who believes him here.
Yeah,
Ever since we were dating.
absolutely.
Dating or married? No, I remember the I thing when we were married and we were in California.
I think we were married.
So maybe it's been there. It's just that I'm so trusting that you would never lie to me, that you would tell me the truth.
Okay, people like to play pranks, classic pranks, as Sheldon likes to say. I mean, the eye thing, absolutely.
I didn't believe it until he kept being like, why would I lie to you?
No.
Why?
So I think we've shared this story before, but I'm going to share it again real quick, super quick. We were waiting there for like her mom and her sisters to check into a hotel or something like that. We were in the car just waiting. And so for some reason, I just got this idea in my head. I said, Jodi, did you know that your eye, the eyeball goes out of your head just slightly, like a quarter of a centimeter or millimeter every single year? And then so after like...
And I'm like, no, it doesn't.
After like so many years, like so many decades, you have to push them back in to like kind of reset it. Or they'll just like... I like, you know those people, because there was a lady at that time that was really getting famous for pushing her eyes out. She can push her eyeballs out at will, and it was really, really crazy. So I said, that's how those people are able to do that. They don't ever push the eyes back in. And so as I'm saying this, I know she's not going to believe it. Like, as I'm saying it, I know it's so stupid. And I'm about to say I'm just kidding, and I can look over her, and she's like, tell me that.
I was actually pushing my eye. My gosh.
I'm like, oh my gosh, I did not know the power that I wielded. I thought there's no chance. It was the dumbest thing of all time. But anyways.
Well, now unfortunately it's so bad that our children like to tell me the most.
Oh, their stories are so ridiculous.
It's so bad. And sometimes I have to go look it up because I'm like, no. And they're like, seriously, Mom? I'm like, really? It's always, ugh.
But they're like smiling the entire time. So anyways.
No, they're not. They're very convincing.
Anyways, we were checking out QI today.
Yes, quite interesting.
And we're checking out, what does English sound like to non-English speakers? And I love this question because we know what it sounds like, but I want to know what they think it sounds like as they are English. I'm assuming most of them are. Maybe there's one American or Canadian or non-English from England speaking type person. Or maybe they're talking, I'm thinking about accents.
I would say I'm thinking the actual
I'm
language.
an idiot. I'm thinking about accents.
Yeah, like...
But I've also
French sound, German sound.
I've also thought about that too, because whenever you hear someone else speak a language, I only speak one language, you're like, man, language is so, it's like a bunch of gibberish if you don't know it, right? And then if you know it, you understand it. But to me, I feel like English is like the language, because it's the only one I know. So I'm like, like, what is that? That's not a language. So, okay, screw the first part. Understand. I've also wondered it too. If you like our reaction to this anyway, please don't forget to...
Wow, I don't get to say anything. You just took it off. Like this video, subscribe to our channel, and hit that notification bell so you can do whatever next uploaded video. All I'm going to say before you hit play there, Mr.
I'm not going to hit play. You're good.
Is that, to me, I think the English language is very abrupt. It's not like smooth, unless you're talking about certain accents. Like the Irish accent is very... lyrical and flowy. But I think the French accent and the Italian accent are very romantic, very flowy. No offense to Stop, that's not how they sound.
Okay.
I think the German accent and Russian accent sound very angry. No offense, they sound very, very angry. A lot of Asian accents seem very abrupt too, and just like, are you mad? Are you not? But I think the Spanish accent, especially because we have a lot of Spanish speakers here, although it's a lovely, not accent language, I'm sorry. Although it's a lovely language and our son can speak it, it just seems very loud. And I know Americans are loud too, but it just feels very loud.
I would push back a little bit on the Russian thing. I know they're geographically really close and all this kind of stuff. I don't think Russian sounds angry. I agree with the German part.
I think the Russians do.
I think Russian's a cool language. I like the little accent that goes with it.
I like a lot of foreign films, and they just always seem angry. I don't know.
Positively. Here we go.
What's this guy on about? That was a 1972, rather before its time, piece of rap by an incredibly famous Italian called Adriano Celentano, who is not known here. He had a huge hit with this, which is called Prisen Collinen Sinai Chuso. You can see it written up, and that'll help you.
Oh, wow.
Prisen Collinen Sinai Chuso in the Colmen Seuvan. Prisen Collinen Sinai Chuso, all right.
Which is Italian for Gangnam Style.
Yeah. What it is just babble.
Yeah,
it's babble that is supposed to sound like English. To an Italian, it sounds more or less like English sounds.
There's that famous clip of the person on Malaysia's Got Talent where they're singing Mariah Carey, Can't Live Without You, which is possibly the greatest song ever recorded. But she's heard it clearly through Second Party and doesn't know what the lyrics are. So she bursts into the chorus and she just goes, Ken Lee Booty Bootachu. This is about a guy called Ken Lee.
Anyway, that was a huge hit in 1972. #1 in Italy, and it was in the top 10 in France and in Belgium and the Netherlands. It's babble that is supposed to sound like English. But in 2011, London-based filmmakers Brian and Carl produced a wonderful film called Squirrel, which used a similar technique. The dialogue is actually gibberish, but sounds like English. It's had over 7 million viewers, and we can actually show you a bit of it here. Run VT.
It's fine for me to display the Joe drink all around the masturbatation town while I, for mass the Pope for cream, and... You want for why I chose Varun and all? You want for why I bleed the whole chase between? You wanna get for what?
It does sound like it, though.
That wasn't gibberish, but we've got them here tonight. Brian and Carl, thank you very much. One of the hardest things to do in the world is to talk gibberish without it becoming... Did you actually learn your gibberish?
We did, yeah.
Yeah.
Did you imagine that there was sense behind it? He thinks she's forgotten his birthday. Is that what...
That's one interpretation. I'm not an actor, but Fiona, who's in the film, is an actress, and so she needed to know what this was about. She needed the intentions, but I think it was important to kind of have a sort of a sense behind what we were saying.
It was a lot like what you were talking about with the Mariah Carey, Ken Lee and stuff. We sort of had the sentences and then kind of garbled them and kind of wrote down the garble as it came out.
I understood more words in that clip, though, than I did in 5 series of The Wire.
And are you Australian, but?
Yeah, I'm Australian, yeah.
Yeah, I thought so. Because we had a similar thing that we do where we don't use words...
Do you think I haven't noticed?
Yeah, exactly.
You have another thing you do, which just sounds as if you've got heartburn.
That's how they get the actors on Home and Away to do an emotional scene. They just give them heartburn.
Right.
Oh, Stephen. Down again. Australians will make enough noises that could be a sentence, but there are no actual words in it. It's just... I'll try. So, Carl, you having a good night? You all right?
Yeah, right, it's all right, man.
You enjoying your time with your eye?
I was all right, I know what you're about.
So weird.
Also, I have a similar thing that I can do with posh people. This gentleman in the front row here, with the blue trousers.
There you go. Anyway, sorry, that's wonderful, Brian and Carl. Thank you very much indeed. Very welcome.
That's funny, but I still I would love to hear from people who don't speak English how they feel our language sounds. Is it really flowy? Because when we were just starting that and they were kind of talking, I started thinking of more languages because I also like to listen to music in other languages, and I love anything that's in Portuguese. Portuguese and Italian are probably my 2 favorite. And they sound like just really fun and dancey and whatnot. But one I realize I'm not the biggest fan of is Swedish songs. I'm not the biggest fan of Sorry. Nikolai.
We have a huge Swedish contingency that watches our videos.
I know. I'm sorry. I am gonna go to Sweden though.
When?
I'm saving up. Remember, I'm going with that person. I don't want to say her name online. Out like.
You're going. We'll talk about this later. I have no idea what she's talking about.
It's gonna be in a couple of years.
I think if you ask people what does English sound like when they didn't understand it, I think they're gonna say something negative because a lot of people. I know America's not the only place that speaks English, but a lot of people have that negative opinion. A lot of people have a negative opinion about England too, but I think more America. And so I think it's going to be hard to disassociate the two, right? Mm-hmm. I can't say Italian is even in my top 3 or 4. I get easily annoyed with a lot of stuff, easily annoyed. And so there's certain, like the way it sounds, kind of like, I mean, French isn't too bad, but kind of like little Spanish, I get a little annoyed too because there's like a certain way about when it comes out, it has like a very similar, and I don't want to say because it's going to make fun of like sound that just annoys me when so many people speak. I can't put my thoughts into words right now, but what are ones that I like a lot? I don't know. I know like Jamaicans speak English, right? But they have their own language, right? Their own dialects. But I love their accent so much. So I think no matter what they speak, it's going to sound really cool because I think they have one of the best accents out there.
Feels laid back.
Yeah, I don't know though.
I know French is very nasally, but it's just very like flowy.
One thing I do like though is when anyone does not have an American accent. I love hearing their like caricature style of the English language of the American accent. So like what an actor from England can do an American accent, really cool, right? Okay. But what I like is when they're like making fun of what they think are like the stereotypes of the American accent. I think that's kind of funny. Like, hey, buddy, or sounds good, man. Like, I don't know. Like that stuff kind of cracks me up. I do enjoy that. Anyways, if you like our reaction to this anyway, please don't forget to like and subscribe. Thanks so much for watching and listening to my rambling. Until next time.
Goodbye.